a general leadership style too, just to check out. It's like one of those games that you play. Please do not think that it is binding by any way at all. It is not. It's just one of those tools जो कि हम ऐसे देखते. It's like a bit of fun and games. So very quickly, who's scoring high in the first grade? 1, 2. All right. And who's grading high in the middle one? All right. And who's grading high in the last one? Anyone who's grading really high in the last one? Last column? No? Anyone who has a balance between the first and the last? You do? Okay. Interesting, isn't it? You are either one or the other. And yet you have a balance between the two. And one thinks that, as Asim said, how do you do that? How do you have a balance between the two ends, the two columns, the first column and the last column? How do you have a balance between the two? This is meant to just sort of get you thinking. What is my response given a particular situation? Nothing more, nothing less. So what we are going to now do is and the answer partly you did answer yourself, but partly it is here and you cannot ruin my PowerPoint. I've made it with great difficulty and I'm running into trouble showing it to you guys, so you better take a look at it, everyone. This is the stuff where I start working and you stop working. Alright? Alright. We talk about leadership styles and we work with Kurt Lewin's initial work on it and the description of 3 main leadership styles in existence in our societies. The first one is, oh gosh, the first one is, and I don't know why this is popping up, this is Murphy's Law at its best. My laptop has a virus and this is what's happening to me today. We have 3 main styles. One is either authoritative and autocratic or forceful or didactic, whatever you want to call it. The second one is participative or democratic. When you invite people to work with you. And the third one is delegative or laissez-faire. Leave people to do what they do. Do not interfere. Laissez-faire. Let's take a look at the qualities of each of them. This is what happens to the best of our. Now, what are the qualities of this? I want you and you to do this. I decide, you follow. I tell you, you do. My vision, your implementation. Now, it can't be bad. There must be a reason why people would have it. And there is a reason why people continue to have this style. So when do you use it? When you have all the information to solve the problem. If I'm the person who knows the layout of this part of the building, and God forbid there is a certain cause to alarm, which is a very bad example to give, I'm sorry, then I'm going to tolerate everyone, get up, first right, second left and out. उस वक्त हम डेमोक्रेसी में नहीं आ सकते. उस वक्त हम नहीं है कि आप बताइए आपका क्या ख्याल है कहाँ से निकलना चाहिए. There is no time for that. I have the answers. Please follow. All right? And then you are short on time. Time नहीं है जल्दी कीजिए. Hurry up. We need to do this now. This is the deadline. We have to meet it. You do this. You do this. You do this. End of the story. And your employees are well motivated. They all know they are all at that point in time very clear about the task that is set, and they are all ready to follow through with this task. So we move on. इसकी real life example है. Well, pardon जी? इसकी real life record. Thank you very much. इसकी real life record. When you know where you are going and you are very clear about. I have to talk about now is the delegative. Please remember one thing about it, which has to be remembered very, very carefully. This autocratic style does not mean abuse of power. You have the power, as many of you talked about. You have the power and you use it very judiciously. आप उसको बहुत सोच समझ के करते हैं और जब उसकी जरूरत नहीं रहती, a good leader moves up. आपने बहुत अच्छी एग्जाम्पल दी, आपने फौज की एग्जाम्पल दी, which is a very, very right example. If you allow me to give you a real life example, I would like to do that as well at this point in time. Churchill was a great leader who took Britain through a very long war. बहुत थका देने वाली जंग में से उसने लोगों को गुजारा, और जब वो जंग में से निकल आए तो उसके बाद that was it, end of the story, and he lost the first elections because he was a leader for that time. He was a leader for the war. He was not in people's minds a leader for peace. So that is one example. And during the war he had complete power. War council थी, उसके वो head पे he could do anything he wanted to do, and he very much did. Alright? With whatever mashawrat से, but he acted on what he thought was the right way to act. The second one is democratic. And democratic is a situation where you are very careful about what you want and what the others want. And it's something that comes out when आपके forms fill होते हैं और आप खुद अपने बारे में अपना CV लिखते हैं, तो आप लिखते हैं कि I am a team player. So a team player is someone who, no matter what his position is, whether he's a manager or he's a senior manager or he's a deputy manager, but he's a member of the team that is playing. And he takes that part because you might be able to do a particular thing and you might be able to do a particular thing that you do not have experience in. And you trust and you delegate. कि ये काम आप करो, ये काम आप करो, ये काम मैं करता हूँ. इसकी फायदा उसको you have a team that is quite well knit, that you do not have problems with, and the team understands, and the team also knows कि उनके क्या targets हैं और उनके क्या expertise हैं. Now what happens with teams like this is that this team comes into operation for a specific task, and once the task is over, the team disperses. It is in no way any challenge to the authority of the person who is the leader of that team, because the leader will stay the leader, and is leader by virtue of his own expertise in an unchallenged expertise in a particular field. Now the third one that we are looking at now is the one that I talked about, which is laissez-faire. Everyone continue doing what you need to do and leave me be. And there are two sides to this. If I am a competent leader and I have an extremely competent team, I set the task, I give the deadlines, I tell what the task outcome is, I give it to the people, I send them home, and then they do their work, and I am good with it. I'll then move on, and I'll wait, let my team do the work. On the deadline, I pull the team in, I see the work, and we move the next step forward. The bad example of this is a leader who's not sure of what he is doing, a leader who's not sure of himself. So what he does is he's got a good team, but he is a bad leader himself. And the team, like so many wild horses, will be pulling in different directions and going away in whatever direction they want to go away. And that is why many times in history you see very capable people seemingly come on, take over, and then all that energy you see dispersing over a period of time, and nothing concrete comes out of it. And you say, but where is all that energy going? The energy of the company is diffusing because the leader is not pulling his team together. He doesn't know what he's going to do.
Excuse me, ma'am.
जी please.
जैसे उनके साथ दी थी आर्मी की, तो आजकल की मिसाल मैं कह सकता हूँ कि हमारी गवर्नमेंट है।
काय की जी? सॉरी, आई एम सॉरी जी।
ये जो लास्ट वन आपने अभी डिफाइन किया है,
जी जी,
इसकी जो बिल्कुल लाइव एग्जांपल है
जी,
हमारी गवर्नमेंट ऐसी नहीं है, बिकॉज़ वी आर डिफ्यूजिंग आवर कैपेबिलिटीज एंड एबिलिटीज एंड वी डोंट नो वेयर आर दे गोइंग.
That is rather a political thing, and I am not saying कि आपकी बात में merit नहीं है. What I am saying is I am not capable of delivering an opinion about that. But हम बाकी जगहों पे institutions में से हम ऐसी examples ले सकते हैं. It has to be. जी जी, मैं आपको एक practical example इसकी चीज़ें दे सकती हूँ. Many times we have very sensible places within our work areas, and let me give you an example of that. आपने कहा आपके work areas जैसे, let's say आपके institution का एक department है जिसमें business development का काम होता है. उनका काम ये है कि वो business opportunities देखते हैं और उन business opportunities के ऊपर action लेने के लिए अपनी टीम को बताते हैं. आप उसके head हैं सॉरी मैं उसकी हेड हूँ, आप लोग मेरे साथ काम कर रहे हैं, बट आई एम एन इनडिसाइसिव हेड and I am not very capable of realizing what the merit in the business is that you are bringing to me. आप उसकी सारी मार्केट रिसर्च करके ले आते हैं, आप उसकी सारी जो है वेरिएबल्स उनको डिसाइड कर लेते हैं, यू कम अप विद योर थिंग्स. जी जी जी
Take an example of any country, any organization,
जी
or any national or multinational.
जी.
But I should know that yes, this is practical approach.
So that is being. I have those examples in my head, but they are my examples. And as you said, recent most example आपको दे दीजिए. And it's from the political world, but luckily it's not our political world. Let's take the recent most example, and I'll tell you the recent most example was George Bush. He was incapable of doing anything himself. He had a team of people who were good or bad, आप उनको जो मर्जी कह लें, but they were very capable people in their own fields. They were capable people. General Colin Powell was an excellent soldier. उनकी जो foreign secretary, she was an excellent person. She knew what her business was. What did it? जी जी, but उनकी power क्या थी? देखिए जी, अब वो मिड टर्म में जब ये इलेक्शन विन कर रहे हैं, वी कैन गो इनटू द नसीम ज़हरा कैपिटल टॉक एंड आई कैन डू द नसीम ज़हरा विद यू राइट नाउ, बट आई डोंट वांट टू डू इट. लेट्स स्टे फोकस्ड. लेट्स कम बैक टू दैट.
Come back to the topic.
जी
If
leave the politics.
worker of the team
जी जी
is not performing his duty accordingly,
जी जी.
then what to do? That's not a team then. We have formed a team. I have
जी.
got a staff.
जी,
All
जी.
the members are there. I
जी.
motivated them to do it. But
जी.
there is someone who is
जी.
not working. That the team is zero.
जी. So what do you do आपने कहा मुझसे?
Yeah.
There are two answers to that question. One is that as a good team leader, आपने डिसाइड किया कि ये आदमी जो है इसको perhaps मैंने गलत जगह पे लगा दिया है, तो आप उसको उसकी सही जगह पे ले जाएं, उसको वहाँ डेवलपमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी दें, एक्टिवली दें, उसको ट्रेन करें उसके लिए. दूसरा ये है कि आप उसको एलिमिनेट कर दें, and that's the decision that you need to make. जी
Related point is given in this former
जी,
point
जी.
number 25.
जी जी
I would
बोलिए.
like you to please explain it briefly, if you could please.
All right. You want me to explain this to you? Sir, have I answered your question? Have I answered your question? Can I just have everyone attention? I'm not running away from your point at all. What I want to say is